Hi everyone, welcome to our first class on product and sustainability. This particular product and sustainability topic will help you to understand what you need to do on your product if you decided to sell your product in the international market. First of all, let us have a look on the definition of product. Product is anything offered by the company to satisfy the market's needs or the consumer's needs. Okay, so this particular product can be divided into two tangible and intangible product. For example, if you go to the hypermarket or supermarket in order to buy your groceries, so that is what we call tangible product. But if you go to the barber shop to get their services, that is what we call intangible product. So, as a company, when you have your product and you decide to sell your product in the international market, basically there are two different strategies that you can use. One, it will be product standardization. Second will be product adaptation. Okay, what is the difference between product standardization and product adaptation? Let us move on the product standardization. Product standardization is a process of maintaining the uniformity of the product sold in different market. Means one product throughout the world. Like for example, iPhone under the brand of Apple, okay, is available throughout the world. Same model, same design, and so on. Coke is another example of product standardization. Same flavor, same color, okay, same taste, and so on. COVID-19 vaccination is also an example of the product standardization. So this product standardization means the company only develop one product for throughout the world because most of the consumers in this world are sharing the similar values, belief, and consumption method. Okay, so they can go for product standardization. If we decided to go for product standardization, the pro and the cons of the product standardization. First, let us have a look on the advantages of the product standardization. Product standardization, it will help the company to reduce their production costs. Why? Because when you come out with a standardized product, you will go for mass production, means we call economy of scale. Economy of scale means you produce in a larger volume in order to reduce the cost per unit. So when you're able to reduce the cost per unit of the product, you are able to reduce the price of the product. Okay, so you are able to sell your product at the price much more cheaper compared to your competitors. So that is the benefit of product standardization. That's why you can find the spritzer mineral water at the price of 1 ringgit. Sometimes you can get for the 90 cents or 150. Why? Because they go for mass production. One. Second, when you go for product standardization, it will help to increase the production efficiency. Why? You're gonna do the same product day and day. So by doing day and day, the efficiency of the production will increase. By this, it will help you to reduce the waste. The third advantages of product standardization is that it will strengthen the brand in the global market. Like Coca-Cola, everyone knows about Coca-Cola. Spritzer, everyone knows. iPhone, everyone knows about it. Why? Because it's standardized product. When we talk about disadvantages of the product standardization, lack of flexibility means customers do not have much choices. Okay, the choices, the option provided to the customers are very limited. Okay, so that is what we call disadvantages in product standardization. But for smaller company, product standardization will be more costly for them because they need to produce the product in a large volume. All right. So basically, this is the pro and the cons of the product standardization. Now, let's have a look on the product adaptation. Other than product standardization, what is this product adaptation? Adaptation means it's a process of modifying the existing product to reach the specific market. Okay, so the adaptation towards the product can be divided into two categories. One can be mandatory adaptation, the second will be non mandatory adaptation. Mandatory adaptation is the adaptation according to the legal requirement, political requirement of the country that you would like to enter. Non-mandatory is maybe based on the consumer's purchasing power, their culture, okay, and so on. For example, the adaptation towards the product can be done on the packaging, design, ingredients, languages, and so on. For example, when we talk about McDonald's, it's a well-known brand, but McDonald's also use a product adaptation as their strategy. But the adaptation on McDonald's was done in terms of the ingredients. Like for example, in India, they do not serve beef burger because majority of the consumers in India are vegetarian, so they go for McChicken. Okay, it's a vegetarian burger. But when we talk about Australia, they come out with a lamb. But in New Zealand, they come out with a kiwi burger. So they adapt the ingredients in their burger according to the countries that they enter. It is one part of the adaptation. Other than that, like for example, any companies that would like to sell their food related product in Malaysia must get a halal accreditation. Halal accreditation is compulsory if you target for the mass market. Why? Because in Malaysia, majority of the consumers are Muslim. So halal requirement become a mandatory adaptation for food related products and so on. All right. So other than that, now let us have a look in terms of the adaptation, but more deeper on the product component model. So when you decided to do the adaptation on your product, which part of the product should I go for adaptation? So basically, there are three different components. One will be the core component of the product, where it more focus on the functional features of the product. So you are making the adaptation towards the basic function of the product so that it will fulfill with the needs and wants of the consumers in that particular country. Second adaptation can be done on the packaging component. Maybe you do some changes on the packaging, the size of the packaging, the color of the packaging, the quality of the packaging, and so on. The third, the adaptation also can be focused on the support service component, like for example, warranty, okay, installation services, and so on. Now, when we talk about core component adaptation, okay, let's say for example, in the automobile industry, Malaysia, okay, most of our driver seat in Malaysia, the driver seat will be on our right hand side. But in countries like Australia, Bangladesh, UK, where the legal requirement says that the driver seat should be on their left hand side. So this is become a mandatory adaptation according to the legal requirement of the country. So if Proton decided to sell their car in Australia, so this particular adaptation become mandatory, compulsory lah, must be done towards the product. Other than that, in terms of the tire, okay, so basically as we know, some countries they have a four seasons, like Malaysia we only have one, okay, but in some countries that have a four seasons, so Michelin they come out with a specific tire where you can buy this particular tire and you can use for all your four seasons, so you no need to make a changes on the tire for each time the season change. Okay, so but that particular all season tires might not be suitable for countries like in Malaysia, okay, because we are more to summer tires. So this is what we call as a core component adaptation. So when the company automobile industry they decided to sell their car in countries that have a four season, so they must make sure the tires that they put for that particular vehicle also must be compatible with the season. Okay. Other than that, in the electric and electronic industry, when we're talking about the plug type, okay, the types of the plug are different according to the countries. Like in Malaysia, we are type G, but in India, they are type D. In Europe, they are type F. So when you are selling any electrical related product to these countries, you must make sure the plug type must be compatible with the country's requirement, okay, so that the consumer in that particular country might able to use your product happily. Other than this is what we call core component adaptation. Other than core component adaptation, packaging component also one of the element that you can adapt. For example, Philips, they introduced a smaller coffee machine to Japan. Why? Because the size of the kitchen in Japan is quite small. The same thing goes to Oreo in China. Okay, initially when Oreo entered China market, they come out with a round shaped Oreo. It's too sweet in a large packaging where people are not affordable to buy because it's quite expensive. But when they come out, redesign their packaging according to the customers, so they change the shape of the Oreo from round to the wafer design. It's less sweet and also it is in a smaller packaging with a low pricing. So it's more affordable for the local consumer to buy and use it. So in Spain, Coca-Cola withdraw their 2-liter Coke bottle because the refrigerator could not fit in this particular size of bottle. So they make the changes. But in Malaysia, we still can see the 2 liter Coca-Cola bottle in hypermarket. So these are the things that we need to adapt according to the countries that we want to enter. So in product adaptation will help the company to survive and to sustain in the international market. So but remember, not all product need to be adapted, not all product need to be standardized. So the classification of the product and the basic elements which product will be suitable for the adaptation need to understand before by the company before you start to go for product adaptation or product standardization strategy. Okay, so that's all for my class today. Enjoy our product info. I hope you have enjoyed our product info. Thank you. Bye.